So I had a dream, I know everybody loves hearing about your dreams, that my parents got the stimulus check and my dad sent it back in protest. But this is not a bank account podcast. Welcome to season 8, episode 20 of Cinema Chop Shop. This is a movie podcast that concedes that remakes are going to happen. So why shouldn't movie buffs,
like us,
decide who is recast in those iconic roles? My name is
Trav Nights in Maine, aka Travis in real life, aka I am Trav, aka Hannah and her Travisters.
Okay. And I'm joined here in the shop by my co-host and co-producer, Shawn in real life, aka Schenectady, New York, aka Lil Shawn Tate. And in our third seat, Chop Shop Regulator, Chelsea and her sisters, aka the Purple Rose of Chelsea, aka PractiChell Magic.
Yeah.
Further description of the show, the tagline says, watch, shop, retrofit, because essentially that's what we do here. We watch older movies, sometimes classic films with iconic actors, and then we retrofit them by tweaking the design with new parts. Quick disclaimer, we're not actually in favor of the remake, reboot, sequel-dependent cinematic culture.
Cut it out.
This is more of an exercise in satire and irony. We try to be funny.
And sometimes we succeed.
that inflection was funny.
Was cheesy.
So that's going for.
All right, so that brings us to the theme of the episode. In celebration of her 73rd birthday, the Films of Dianne Wiest. Now, before I get into bio information, Shawn, would you call yourself a Wiest head?
Yeah, I'm a little Wiesty. She just seemed like a sweet person, and all of her roles tend to be like that. She's
Fairly wholesome.
Likable, sweet, nice. That's just my takeaway,
Okay.
and she's good at it.
And who do you like more, Dianne Wiest or JoBeth Williams?
Oh my, those are two different people though.
Yeah, I know, I confused them in my head.
No, oh really? No.
He said it before.
Ah, jeez, no.
Judy Bruno. And Chelsea, I imagine you saw more Dianne Wiest movies this past week than you had previously, right? Or had you already seen a lot of these?
No, I've seen some.
Okay.
I still haven't seen like some of her older films, but like Shawn was watching PractiChell Magic, and I was like, oh my god, I watched that with my mom when I was younger.
I kind of like that movie, to be fair. All right, so one of 3 children, Dianne Wiest was born in Kansas City, Missouri. Her original ambition was to be a ballerina, but she was bitten by the acting bug after some stage work, most notably playing Desdemona to James Earl Jones's Othello on Broadway. She made her film debut in 1980, but did not make her name for herself until her performance as Emma, a prostitute, during the 1930s Depression in Woody Allen's The Purple Rose of Cairo from 1985. Allen was so impressed by Wiest's acting ability that he has directed her in 4 more films. Under Allen's direction, Wiest won a well-deserved Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for her brilliant performance as the neurotic wannabe actress Holly in Hannah and Her Sisters from 1986. She followed her Academy Award success with performances in The Lost Boys, 1987, Bright Lights, Big City, 1988, before stealing the show from the likes of Steve Martin, Mary Steenburgen, Jason Robards, Keanu Reeves, and Martha Plimpton in Ron Howard's Parenthood from 1989. Playing Helen Buckman, she divorced, we don't want to get into the whole description of that right now. So yeah, that's Dianne Wiest. We'll talk more about Parenthood later. Dianne Wiest is the topic of the week. And are you guys ready to get into the midnight double feature?
Yeah.
The middle of the midnight double feature.
Yeah.
So this is where each of us on the panel, we select 2 films that are within our category of the week. And we talk about why they would make a good pairing and how they're maybe related to each other. And Chelsea, what is your double feature?
So my 2 movies are not connected other than
Dianne Wiest is in them, right?
yeah, she's
Okay,
in
good.
them, and I just love them. I'm going with 2007's Dan in Real Life. That movie was so important to me when I had just come out of boot camp
and you really, really wanted some pancakes.
I really did. However, I only had one DVD in the barracks, and it was Dan in Real Life, and I probably have seen this film over 150 times.
Oh, damn.
I mean, that's all I did was watch this film.
That's all I did was watch Dan in Real Life.
I did.
It's the only thing I can talk about. My mom calls. I'm like, so,
Yeah.
let me tell you about this movie. Dan in Real Life.
Yeah, she was pretty sick of it.
She's like, Chelsea, please, this is all you want to talk about.
And I just, that's it. I like
It is a great movie. I picked it as one of my features in my double as well.
So I'll let you talk about it when you get to yours. But
And
I'm
very,
pairing
very
that with 1984's Footloose.
Ah.
Now this movie is important to me because this was the first film I saw at a drive-in.
I was there.
You were there.
There was an earthquake.
Yeah, and it was the first time I had really experienced an earthquake. We had an epic dance party.
Oh, that was fun.
That was very fun. You yelled at a donkey or a goat or something, you and Allie.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Now.
And you had Popeye's chicken.
I do love Popeye's chicken. It's the shiznit. All right, that sounds good. Over to you, Sean.
Okay. I went with two films also starring Nicole Kidman.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice. I went with 1998's Practical Magic with her and America's Sweetheart Sandra Bullock. And of course, Stockard Channing and Dianne Wiest. It's about a family of witches, and it's one of those typical late 90s girl comedy, drama, romance type movies.
What did you call it? A music video?
Well, there's a lot. I was going to get to that next. Is that there are a lot of like music videos built into the movie, and the first one being "This Kiss" by Faith Hill, and immediately I was like, "Oh my god!" But you put all that aside, it's got its charms.
Yeah.
Charm. You got me. But yeah, it's got a very young Evan Rachel Wood in it.
Nice.
It's got Aidan Quinn as well. It's okay. But I followed it up with Rabbit Hole from 2010. Now this film got Nicole Kidman an Oscar nomination for Best Actress in a leading role. And this is a story of a family whose well, their whole lives are turned upside down, really.
Yes.
You've got a couple whose 4-year-old son was killed in an auto accident, played by, the driver was played by Miles Teller.
Correct.
And he just happened to be speeding through the neighborhood. The son was chasing after the dog, who was chasing after a ball or something, and he killed the boy. So you have a lot of family drama of them dealing with Nicole Kidman and Aaron Eckhart, dealing with the loss of
How was the dog?
How was the dog?
Was the dog okay?
The dog was fine, and the dog plays a part in their struggle. The wife, Nicole, wants to get rid of the dog because it reminds her so much of the son.
Follow up. Did you get the ball?
But that's not important to the story. Dianne Wiest, of course, plays her mother, who lost a son as well, Nicole Kidman's brother. But she lost him to drug abuse. And there's a lot of contention between the two of them because Dianne Wiest is always trying to relate to Nicole Kidman's loss, but she's bringing it from a point of view of a flawed person who took their life into their own hands and really threw their life away, whereas Nicole Kidman's coming from, I had an innocent taken from us. So there's a lot of butting of heads involved where Dianne Wiest means very well, but Nicole Kidman, of course, is not receptive to the sympathy.
Well, at the same time, Dianne Wiest's son got to grow up and hers didn't.
Right. So there's a lot of that. They're in group therapy. Sandra Oh plays a friend of theirs who's in group therapy as well. And just a lot of family drama. It's a sad movie, and it's a quite good movie. There's some really powerful scenes with Nicole Kidman in it. And if you haven't seen it, I would say check this one out if you want a really heavy.
Yeah, I was going to say
drama.
both of those sound pretty heavy.
Not Practical Magic. It's not
No,
heavy
dude.
at all.
Are you serious?
Practical
They
Magic.
move shit with their fucking powers. All right, so over to me. I also selected Dan in Real Life from 2007, directed by Peter Hedges, who also directed What's Eating Gilbert Grape and Pieces of April. He's also the father of actor Lucas Hedges, who has come up on this show quite a few times in real life. Widower Dan Burns gives family advice in his column, but struggles with raising his 3 daughters alone. After arriving at Dan's parents for a family get-together, their bickering drives him to take refuge in the local bookstore, where he meets and swiftly falls for the charming Marie. However, the revelation that Marie is in fact the new girlfriend of Dan's brother brings their fragile flirtation to a shuddering halt. It's a real get you in the feelies movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's not too removed from Little Miss Sunshine, right? And so Steve Carell was kind of in that zone at the time. I'm not just Michael Scott.
Yeah.
When he sang "Let My Love Open the Door,"
Uh-huh.
there were tears.
Oh, good. Next, I've got a movie from 2017 called Dedication, directed by Justin Theroux, Prime Minister of Canada.
Woo!
And
Trudeau.
oh shit. Well, Theroux is mostly an actor. I think this is maybe his lone directing credit. When children's author Henry Roth, Billy Crudup, loses his longtime illustrator, his publisher sends him a new artist, Lucy, played by Mandy Moore. He is a tangle of neuroses and nastiness, and he does everything he can to alienate her, even though he must deliver his latest book in less than a month. Secretly, Henry begins to fall in love with Lucy, and at the same time, her ex-boyfriend returns to try to win her back. So we've got some parallel themes here: the love that you cannot attain, and maybe it is requited, but it's forbidden, let's say. And I believe that Dianne Wiest is the therapist in this. But yes, that's my double feature. They're both kind of dramedies. They both have to do with books. And they both have Dianne Wiest in it. All right, that's going to bring us to our feature segment, which is the recast. And this is where we take a pre-selected film that we all watch in advance, and then we talk about it a little bit, and then we hypothetically recast a few of the main roles with contemporary actors who are at the height of their powers. And the first film is, I consider it one of this director's best movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Edward Scissorhands from 1990, directed by Tim Burton. We've got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. A scientist, played by Vincent Price in one of his final performances, builds an animated human being, the gentle Edward, played by Johnny Depp. The scientist dies before he can finish assembling Edward, though, leaving the young man with a freakish appearance, accentuated by the scissor blades that he has instead of hands. Loving suburban saleswoman Peg, played by Dianne Wiest, discovers Edward and takes him home, where he falls for Peg's teen daughter, played by Winona Ryder, and her character's name is Kim. However, despite his kindness and artistic talent, Edward's hands make him an outcast. And it is one of those like overcoming stigma and
Prejudice.
Gaining and prejudice and gaining social acceptance and just having an equitable existence, right?
Yeah.
And so I love this movie. Loved it when I was a kid. Love it now. What's your favorite part, Chelsea?
Oh gosh, I love when he does all the ladies' hair
Yeah.
in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I love that. When I chopped all my hair off, I
Mhm.
felt like I had a similar sort of experience because there were two.
There was a humanoid scissor-handed person?
No. There were like 2 women in the salon,
Mm-hmm.
and my hair was fairly long. It was about right here, and I was like, just chop it off.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, have you had short hair before? And I was like, yep,
Mm-hmm.
100%. Before in my life. So she just goes, phew,
Yeah.
and the women are like, woo! But
Your
by the
hair
end of
sucked
it-
all the air out of the room?
Pretty much. But by the end of it, they were like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
so cute. But it
Nice.
reminded me of that scene.
That's super cool. My favorite is the topiaries.
Yes.
Topiaries are beautiful.
The edgework.
I recommended this movie for the episode because I thought Dianne Wiest's character of being just this sweet, well-meaning
Mm-hmm.
mother who at the same time was just like breaking down prejudice barriers.
Yes.
Because this is a good boy. There's something good within him and everybody needs to recognize it and see it. And also Tim Burton's depiction of this kitschy utopia, 1950s style neighborhood, suburbia. That really is what makes this movie work, because you got this weird gothy Edward Scissorhands in this really juxtaposed kind of suburbia background.
It almost makes it a little bit timeless because you can't quite pinpoint the timeline.
Right. All right, I like that. So the roles that we're going to recast, we've already mentioned them, but just to go through it real quick, we've got Edward Scissorhands, played by Johnny Depp, who was 27 at the time. Peg, played by Dianne Wiest, who was 42. Kim, played by Winona Ryder, who was just 19. And the inventor, played by the late great Vincent Price, who was 79 at the time. And Chelsea, who's going to be your pick for Edward?
Okay, this might be a little bit of low-hanging fruit.
Mhm.
However, I think this actor, can pull it off because he's a little bit bizarre, but there's also just like a charm and a kindness about him. I went with Timothy Chalamet. Who
Do you
played
mean
him.
this Timothy Chalamet?
I did.
I picked Timothy Chalamet too.
Both did that. That's like the fruit's dragging the ground. Because
I know, but he can do it.
He's in Call Me By Your Name, Lady Bird, The King, and the upcoming Dune, which I'm highly looking forward to.
Yes.
You've seen the commercial that he did, right?
Did he do an Edward Scissorhands
Yeah.
commercial?
Well, that's where that
I-
picture comes from.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was Edward Scissorhands at a commercial for the Super Bowl.
Huh.
Yeah.
I
That's-
totally paid attention during the Super Bowl.
That's okay. So I went with that in mind, because that would have been my pick too. But I went with somebody who was awkward. I don't know if he can pull off the lovable, charming side, but he can nail the awkward aspect
Okay.
of Edward Scissorhands. He was in, it's kind of a funny story, It Follows, Dead Silence, as well as Atypical. I went with Keir Gilchrist.
Okay.
I think he can. In Atypical, he very much has a charming, sweet side
I
to
haven't
him.
seen that show, but who was he in It Follows?
He was the weird friend, the
Okay.
really
Awkward.
awkward
Yeah.
friend of the girls. Paul was his character's name.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
I like that movie.
Yeah, I did too. And like I said, he rides that awkward line so hard
Mhm.
that I think, I don't know, for this remake, I guess it might work.
I will say that it took me a second viewing of It Follows before it really sunk in for me, and I like it a lot now. The first time I saw it was on my birthday in the movie theater. There used to be this thing
What's that?
called movie theaters where people would congregate and have a shared experience.
So the show Atypical, he really brings a likability and
Mhm.
takes the stigma away from people with autism because they're so blunt and they're so honest. It can come across as cruel and mean.
Okay.
But there is something slightly vulnerable and very charming about where his heart's at.
Cool. All right. Next up, we've got the role of Peg, played by Dianne Wiest, who was 42. And who's your pick for this one, Chelsea?
So my actress definitely has that lovable quality. She's not played many roles as a mom, but we've all kind of grown up with her, and she's very sweet. She was in E.T., 51st States, Never Been Kissed. I went with Drew Barrymore.
Ah, she was also on that one episode of David Letterman.
Yeah, that one.
All right. Sean, who is your Peg?
My Peg is 40 years old, and she's got a very sweet face that kind of reminds me of Dianne Wiest's, but she has played some pretty flawed characters. You would know her from My Week with Marilyn,
Mm-hmm.
Take This Waltz, Blue Valentine, and of course her acclaimed role in Manchester by the Sea. I went with Michelle Williams.
It's a very good choice.
Very good choice.
All right. So my actress is 41 now. Everything I say will give it away. She's in My So-Called Life,
Home for the Holidays,
and Romeo plus Juliet with Claire Danes.
Nice.
Claire Danes. Next up, we've got Kim, played by Winona Ryder, at the age of 19. Chelsea, who was your pick for this?
So I don't know this actress very well, but there was something kind of bizarre about her picture on IMDb that made me pick her. But she's in the dumb TV series on Hulu, A Teacher. She was just in that movie Cherry. I went with Sierra Bravo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's fucking great. She's also in one of my new favorite shows, Wayne. She's in Wayne, the TV show about the teenage vigilante.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking.
Yeah, she's the girl who runs away with him. Yeah, and she's good in Cherry too. She probably is the best part of the movie Cherry.
That's what I've read about that movie.
Why, Wayne?
Yes, that not Wayne. Sean, who's gonna be your Kim?
My Kim's 21 years old. She's got a very short resume. She was in Dark River, Mr. Lonely, the short film Jamie, but most would know her from her role on Amazon Prime's series based on the film Hannah. Her name is Esma Creed Miles. Okay,
I've seen the movie Hannah. I don't know that I've seen the TV show, but I think I can picture who you're talking about. My Kim is 19 now as well. She was in a movie that could have been better called Tomorrowland, another movie that could have been better called Vox Lux, and then a movie that was pretty good, if not very out there, The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Her name is Raffi Cassidy. Raffi Cassidy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that's how you pronounce Cassidy. Next, we've got The Inventor, played by Vincent Price, who was 79 at the time. The man needs no introduction, but he was an amazing actor during the Universal monster movies era, and probably got a little bit typecast because of that. Had his own troubles with addiction. It was cool to see him one last time. So, Chelsea, who is your inventor?
So I gender flipped this because there needs to be more female scientists
Nice.
represented in film. So my actress was in Grease. She was in Practical Magic, 6 Degrees of Separation. I went with Stockard Channing.
Stockard Channing.
I like that.
My grandmother's maiden name is Stockard, so every time I hear the name Stockard Channing, I think somebody is saying it backwards and that there's a comma they're skipping. Sean, who is your Vincent Price, or your inventor rather?
I went with a 77-year-old actor. He's done a few films that are okay.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Iron Man 3. He was in Schindler's List. He was in Sexy Beast. He was in Gandhi.
Shocked
I
him.
went with Ben Kingsley.
Ah,
Shocked.
great actor. My actor is one of those people that you recognize his face, but it's hard to place him. Maybe not to some people, it is to me, but he was in the Saw franchise, like all of those. He's also in Goodfellas, The Quick and the Dead, and The Firm. His name is Tobin Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Tobin Bell is
I
going
like
to be.
that.
Yeah. That works. Totally.
Yeah. All right, so obviously I think we're all recommending
Oh,
Edward
sure.
A
Scissorhands.
million%.
There was a point when I was a kid when I would confuse this movie with Lawnmower Man. Not at all the same. I think it's just because he mows somebody's lawn with his scissor hands.
You ever seen the porn parody? Edward Penis Hands?
No.
Oh, God.
I have played the game Edward 40 Hands though.
Oh yeah, me too.
All right, so that's going to take us into intermission, but not before we say, let's all go to the lobby, let's all go to the lobby, let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves some Wiest Thins and cookies.
But wait, what's that game?
Edward 40 Hands.
What is that?
Okay, this is where when you turn 40, or if before that,
You can do it anytime.
you can do it anytime. You have your friends duct tape 40-ounce malt liquor to your hands, and you have to drink them both before you can go pee or
Use your hands.
use your hands.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played that.
It's a form of self-humiliation.
Colleen introduced me to Edward 40 Hands.
Okay.
All right, and we are back. Thank you for bearing with us during intermission. When we come back from intermission, what do we like to do, Sean?
Beer check-ins.
And what have you got for us today?
This one's from Intuition Ale Works in Jacksonville, Florida. And much like Dianne Wiest, it's easy on the eyes.
Easy on the eyes.
This is a session IPA
Nice.
with Sriracha Ace as the featured hop.
We might have tried this before.
Yeah,
we might have,
I
but
think
it's
we
okay.
did.
I definitely didn't put it
We
on.
checked it in.
I didn't put it on Untapped.
Foaming over, so that's a good sign.
Your cup runneth over.
Yeah, Sriracha Ace is going to give you that lemongrass kind of taste. And there we go. Let the pieces fall where they may. I think we have tried this, and I believe you did like it.
Yep, I like it. Lawnmower Man. Oh yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of this, but it's okay.
And Chelsea, you're not trying that one? Okay. So with that, we're going to go into our next segment, which is the 2021 movie marathon. As of this recording, it is the 94th day of the year. Is 87 plus 7 94? I'm so good at math. And I'm on number 95. What number are you guys on?
I'm on 102.
157.
Very, very good. So what's your first check-in going to be, Chelsea?
A movie from 2021 called Doors.
Okay.
Sci-fi.
Starring Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison.
No. Okay, the only person I really picked out of this was fucking Josh Peck from Nickelodeon show Drake and Josh.
Don't know it.
Back in my
Drake
day.
as in Drake?
No, not that Drake.
Alright.
Anyways, a bunch of these weird, mysterious doors sort of appear, and people get sucked into them,
Okay.
and then eventually return, and it's extraterrestrial. But I don't know. It's vignettes of like different people's experiences with
Alright.
these doors.
So that factor right there alone will probably get me to watch it, because I think that the vignettes are go well with my attention deficit disorder.
Yeah, it left
Would you say it's a
me-
serviceable sci-fi?
It is. It left me wanting a lot more. There
Okay.
was a ton of stuff that was not answered, but I mean, it's decent.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say compare it to your meh episode of Black Mirror.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not one of your favorite episodes of Black Mirror.
Okay.
And having watched it so soon after Come True, that's
Yeah.
where the letdown is, because
Yeah.
Man, that movie's amazing.
Come True is so good.
There hasn't been a day that's gone by since watching it that I haven't either recommended it to somebody or just like thought about it for too long. It's like, where are you right now? Oh no, I was just thinking about this movie I saw a week ago.
Yep.
All right, my first check-in is going to be Cherry, number 91, Cherry from 2021. The latest project from the Russo brothers is a hyper-realistic heroine drama. As such, it is quite depressing. Great to see Sierra Bravo from the TV show Wayne landing feature films.
Nice.
So a lot of people talked about how they thought Tom Holland was miscast in this because he's such a, like, everyday normal guy, and he's playing a serious junkie slash like Afghanistan vet.
Yeah, but that could happen to anybody.
It
Yeah.
really could, and that was not my impression of it.
Okay.
I thought his performance was out of type, but not in a negative way.
Gotcha. My first check-in is going to be very brief because you checked it in last week. It's Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Uh-huh.
So I've got to give credit where credit's due. It's an improvement.
It is an improvement.
I loved it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You have not seen the other one.
I have not seen the other one. This is the only one I've seen.
I think it would be interesting for you to go back and watch the
I think I
Whedon
might.
cut.
I think the added content helps. I think the Wonder Woman scene at the beginning is better than both Wonder Woman movies combined.
Okay.
It's an incredible action scene, which is what Snyder does best. But if you want to hear more about this from people who are more eloquent about breaking down film, I would say watch Half in the Bag's review from Red Letter Media on YouTube.
Okay.
They do a great job of going side by side with the original theatrical release and the Snyder Cut.
And it is a pretty lengthy episode.
It's about an hour and a half, maybe.
Okay.
Much shorter than the actual movie itself.
All right. My next one is going to be Happily. It is my turn, right?
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Wait,
Chelsea's.
it's your turn. Okay, go ahead.
So mine is a documentary from 2019. It's called Hurley. It's about race car driver Hurley Haywood, who I'd never heard of before.
Me either.
I'm not like a big racing fan.
No.
But this popped up on, hey, I think this is recommended for you. I think on Hulu or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll watch it. Anyways, he's a 5-time 24-hour Daytona winner and 3-time winner of the Le Mans.
Yeah.
In the 70s.
Oh, speaking of Le Mans, I'm sorry to interrupt, but our Steve McQueen episode has been downloaded like 3 times more than any of our other episodes.
Hey, he's the king of cool.
Meaning we got like 15 downloads. Sorry, continue, Chelsea.
So he was this like cool, good-looking, calm, cool, collected, just all-around sort of cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
But carrying a secret. He's gay.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And his partner that he would do these races with was
His partner.
mm-mm,
Oh no.
just a troubled dude, and
Okay.
something happened that really affected him. It was really interesting, especially just about somebody I knew nothing about.
And a subject that you probably wouldn't have picked out for yourself.
No, but what was interesting, and I didn't know this either, Patrick Dempsey
Mm-hmm.
McDreamy, he's a race car driver, and
Yeah.
Haywood Hurley is sort of his mentor.
No shit.
Yeah. So
Huh.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
That
It was
is
good.
interesting.
It was good. It's on Hulu.
All right. So now it's your turn, Sean.
Sure,
Go
I
ahead.
guess.
Go next. I've got
I-
2 more.
I've got this one and another. I watched a sci-fi movie from 1976 called Things to Come.
Oh, is it spelled C-U-M?
No, but it should have been. I'm just going to read you my Twitter review, which was written from the point of view of one of the producers. Hey, what do we do with all this softcore porn footage? I know, let's weave it into a Westworld/Future World ripoff where people in the future enjoy vintage 70s porn in the Pleasure Dome.
More like Logan's Fun.
Yeah, solid idea.
That sounds like a great time.
So yeah, it's really dumb. You've got these people who show up to this resort, the Pleasure Dome, to like have their way with the pleasure droids, pleasure bots. Spoilers, they're not robots at all. They're actual people who have worked there before and became disillusioned with the whole process, and they pretty much mind wiped them.
Brainwash.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but there is a lot of really bad 70s stock footage,
Mhm.
softcore porn.
Well, it's like Adam Sandler said in Bulletproof. You know it's from the 70s because his dick has sideburns.
Yeah, there's lots of bush.
All right, my turn. I've got Happily from this year, 2021. It's my number 92. I almost said 1992. And a couple that has been married for 14 years can't keep their hands off each other and never fights. The rest of the world has a big problem with that. Great all-star comedic ensemble. There are twists and turns in this movie. I'm not going to say a twist because there are multiple ones. And stay with it.
Okay.
Watch the whole thing. Stephen Root is in it. He's
I love
great.
Stephen Root.
Yeah.
We should do a Stephen Root episode.
We really should. Get back to our roots.
At the root of it.
Yeah, the root of the matter. So yeah, I recommend this one. It wasn't like blow you away good, but it was an interesting concept and well executed by the cast.
Nice.
Over to you, Chelsea.
So my last check-in is a film from 2017 called Landmine. I found
Landline or landmine?
Landline.
Okay, like the telephone. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's set in 1995. Cast is great. I don't know how I missed this. Edie Falco, Jenny Slate,
That
John.
was quite the accent.
Whoa, that was so
I know.
South
Shut the-
Dakota.
Edie Falco.
Falco.
You guys are awful.
Don't you know?
John Turturro.
Yeah. Yep.
The Jesus.
Don't fuck with the Jesus, man.
Didn't want to accent the
Just
O too
kidding,
much.
just kidding.
And Jay Duplass.
Jay Duplass, yes. I like him.
One half of the
The Duplass brothers.
Yes. Anyways, set in 1995. It's basically about Jenny Slate's character sort of coming to terms with her I guess, infidelity.
Okay.
She has this great guy, and she cheats on him. Her and her sister also find out that their dad is cheating on their mom, and just her watching all of this unfold sort of is like wakes her up, I guess.
Yes.
It's really cute. I liked it. It was fun.
Very nice. I'm sorry. I'm just sending a message to my lovely wife, Michelle, that we're going a little bit long. Recording.
With good reason.
With good reason. Still recording. Apostrophe. Yeah, that's my style. All right. Over to you, Sean. You got one more for us.
Yes. I watched from 1949 Whirlpool. It's an Otto Preminger film.
Mm-hmm.
One of the stars of the film is Jose Ferrer,
Mm-hmm.
the father of Miguel Ferrer.
Yes.
Did you know this?
I knew that they were father and son.
Oh my God, I didn't know that he existed, but I saw the name in the credits, and this is how our brains work now. My mind goes, I wonder if he's related to Miguel Ferrer.
Yeah.
And then immediately walks on camera, and you're just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
He's like a dead ringer. It's about a guy who's a hypnotist, and he hypnotizes this well-to-do lady who is a kleptomaniac to do his bidding for him to get revenge on another woman who he hypnotized, who, he's just trying to fuck her over, and he frames her for murder. And it's good. It's a cool movie, and it's typical Otto Preminger. It's just beautifully shot and well done. But it's
Whirlpool.
Whirlpool.
And is this one on Criterion?
No,
Okay.
not that I know of.
All right, my last check-in is going to be number 93, Billie Eilish. The world's a little blurry right now. From 2021. What the hell is a Billie Eyelash?
That joke never gets old.
I actually enjoyed this documentary far more than I was led to believe.
Really?
Yeah, I really liked it.
Really?
Now
I love her family.
the one part that I thought maybe you might take issue with, Chelsea, and I could be way off base here, but was it the Tourette's thing?
No.
No.
Nothing to do with that.
I just thought it was directionless.
Yeah, there just
Jumps
wasn't.
around too much.
Yeah, there wasn't anything cohesive about it. I love her. I love her family. I think they're so sweet. I
Even
love
if she does
seeing
have
that.
Tourette's.
Yeah, and it's great that she can cook
Aren't you
so
making
well.
this about Tourette's, man?
Well, it's really neat to see somebody that's differently able be able to cope with this idea of fame, and somebody who was thrust into it at a fucking awkward age.
Yes.
She handles it beautifully.
And she's very upfront and honest about it.
Yeah,
too. I think that
which is
transparency
refreshing.
resonates with her audience. By the way, I'm opening another beer before I jump in.
Kill this, right?
This one's from Revelry Brewing in Charleston, South Carolina. It's called Scooter Money. This is a double dry hop, double hazy IPA with Mosaic, Matuka, and Wakatu.
Watutsi.
Wakatu.
Wakatu.
Wakatu, 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 Wakatu.
It's pronounced cockatiel. Scooter money. Oh, it's money to buy your scooter.
Or get gas for your scooter.
Okay.
Right.
They should get Scoot McNairy to endorse it. They should. Yeah, you should. The Scoot McNairy endorsement
It's
would be perfect.
very sweet. Prepare yourself.
Oh wow, I get like pineapple.
Yeah.
Very fruit punchy.
Yeah, it's so far away from an IPA.
Interesting.
Yep. It's something. To be fair, this thing has been in the fridge for about 3 or 4 weeks, so it's, don't judge it too harshly. It's my fault for not bringing it out sooner.
Could have been worse. You could have said 3 or 4 years.
Oh.
All right, and Chelsea, did you try that beer?
No.
No. Okay. So with that, we're going to move it into the second part of our feature segment, which is the recast continued. And this film, we mentioned it at the top in Dianne Wiest's bio. It's from 1989. It's called Parenthood, directed by Ron Howard, who got a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know I've done it before, but I have to do my cover art rant about this. Right around the same time, this movie came out, another movie came out called Problem Child.
Yep.
And the cover art for Problem Child is basically the same layout, except Problem Child is holding his parents up by their ankles, as opposed to Steve Martin holding his kids up by their ankles.
Which came first?
I I'm
I
pretty
think
sure Problem Child
came first.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then maybe it would make more sense if it came out after and they were doing a parody of that. But I think you might be right. And also in Problem Child, all the photos on the wall in the background are askew.
Huh. I'm gonna do a real quick fact check while you give the rundown.
Nope, Problem Child came out in 1990.
Oh, so Parenthood did come up
By a year.
Yep.
By a year. So
Okay.
they were probably parodying
Yeah,
that.
they were skewering it. Good call.
All right. So the movie's called Parenthood. It's a 1989 American family comedy film with an ensemble cast that includes Steve Martin, Tom Hulse,
Mm-hmm.
Rick Moranis, Martha Plimpton, Joaquin Phoenix, Keanu Reeves, Jason Robards, Mary Steenburgen, and Dianne Wiest. Perfectionist Gil Buckman, played by Steve Martin, struggles with the deficiencies of his children, thinking they reflect poorly on his parenting, and Gil's siblings only add to the stress of his life. One of his sisters, played by Dianne Wiest, faces difficulty when her teenage daughter, played by Martha Plimpton, becomes pregnant. Another, Harley Jane Kozak, clashes with her husband, Rick Moranis, when she asks for more children. Gil's immature brother, Tom Hulse, turns up as well with a young son he can barely handle.
Cool.
And
No, his son's name's Cool.
his son is named Cool.
Oh,
As a result of this, one of my high school friends got nicknamed Cool.
Uh-huh. It's better than being nicknamed Drugs. So, thoughts on this movie?
you pronounce Leaf's name wrong.
Nice. Joaquin Leaf Phoenix.
No, it's a funny movie. There are some legitimate laughs in it.
I really enjoyed this film.
I want to comment the fact that it's co-written by Babaloo Mandel, which has no relation to Howie Mandel.
His first name is Babaloo,
Babaloo.
and the Mandel is what you're focusing on? All right, we've got Gil Buckman, played by Steve Martin. We've got Helen Buckman, played by Dianne Wiest. Karen Buckman, played by Mary Steenburgen. And Frank Buckman, played by Jason Robards. Obviously, we could not get to everybody in this very large cast. And as we often point out, you couldn't make this movie today. You couldn't make all the cast.
No.
I love Martha Plimpton and I love Keanu in this movie.
Oh yeah.
I remember when I was at this age, the haircuts that they got were outrageous
Yeah.
at the time. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, they look good.
Side note on Martha Plimpton, even though they spell their last name differently, she and Bill Plimpton, the illustrator, are distant cousins.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right, so Chelsea, who is your pick for Gil Buckman, played by Steve Martin at 44?
All right. I love Steve Martin. This was a hard recast for me, but ultimately, his Twitter feed made me decide on him. I went with Deadpool himself, Ryan Reynolds.
Ah, okay. And he can play a mean banjo. Sean?
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
No, I was joking.
Okay.
Because Steve Martin plays banjo.
Yeah, I got that.
Yes. In the opening dream sequence, he says he's 35 years old.
Yes,
so that's
he does.
The character is 35.
35.
Okay, gotcha.
However, so with that, I split the difference, and I went with kind of a 41-year-old actor, and he can do comedy. He's from a very strong comedy lineage. He was in the movie W. He was in Frozen 2, A Million Little Things, and the TV series Superstore with Jason Ritter.
Yeah! Jason
like
Ritter's
that.
awesome. Can't go wrong with that. All right, my actor is really not a comedic actor, so it's going to be interesting to see him in a comedy. He might just run with it. He is 43 now. He was in American Horror Story Asylum, Hotel Artemis, Hitman Agent 47, and the Star Trek reboot franchise. I went with Zachary Quinto.
Oh. Okay.
Nice.
It'll be different.
For
Yeah.
a minute there, I thought you were going to do Evan Peters.
Nope.
No.
He's come up too much lately.
I know, and I'm surprised. Well, it's not really a movie, but he is going to be Jeffrey Dahmer in that miniseries.
Oh,
Yes.
when you were telling me about Monster,
Yeah.
the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good creative title about a serial killer called
There's
Monster.
so many other words that they could use to talk about Dahmer. Oh, by the way, I'm halfway through the last book on the left, and I'm loving it, although it's fucking up my dreams. I have some crazy ass dreams.
Hey, if you want something, to listen to at night, listen to Zabrowski and McNeely's Dune.
Oh, I heard about that.
Oh, it's good.
I love it.
It's fun because McNeely had not read
the books.
Yeah, McNeely had not read the books before, so he's coming into it
and
fresh.
Zabrowski just geeks out.
And he totally geeks out.
All right, next up we've got Helen Buckman, played by Dianne Wiest, who was 41 at the time. The actress was 41. I don't know how old the character was. But Chelsea, who is your pick for Helen?
Oh, my actress was in My Week with Marilyn, Blue Valentine, and Manchester by the Sea.
Uh-huh.
I went with Michelle Williams.
Nicely done. You mean
I
Michelle?
also went with Michelle Williams, not to be confused with the Michelle Williams from TLC? No, Destiny's Child.
That's almost a trifecta.
Almost. That's crazy town.
Well, then I'm going to jump in with mine then. My actress is going to be 42 in a couple of weeks. She was in Star Trek. She was in Big Stan. That's the Rob Schneider movie.
Oh, yeah.
She was in House and Once Upon a Time with Jennifer Morrison.
Okay.
Nice.
You know,
Right on.
because I'd already done the other.
So whenever he said Michelle Williams earlier, were you like,
Yeah. I just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I was like, mm-hmm.
All right, next up we've got Karen Buckman, played by Mary Steenburgen, who was 36 at the time, and I love Mary Steenburgen. I don't know what it is about her.
It's almost the Dianne Wiest quality. Like she is
More so.
such-
I like Mary Steenburgen better
More.
than Dianne Wiest.
No.
She's a good mom.
She's the mom in.
Step Brothers.
No, well, yeah, she is the mom of Step Brothers, but what the TV series on NBC?
Oh, shit.
I liked her in Back to the Future Part 3.
Zoe's Infinite Playlist.
Yes.
She's quite good in that. You should check it out.
Okay. I've seen a couple episodes of that show, I think. So Mary Steenburgen was 36, and Chelsea, who did you pick for this?
So my actress was in the Avengers movies,
Mhm.
Safe Haven, Jack Reacher, also How I Met Your Mother. I went with Kobe Smulders.
Oh yeah, she's good. Remember when Joey was on the show and he's like, wait, what? It was right after Kobe Bryant's death. He's like, there's a person named Kobe Smulders?
Yeah, there is.
So,
My turn?
yes, Sean, please.
Nicely done. I went with a 35-year-old actress. She was in The Wolf of Wall Street. She was in Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
Black Mirror, and one of Travis's favorites, Palm Springs. I went with Kristen Milioti.
You son of a fucking bitch.
Yes! I got you!
I also picked Kristen Milioti from The Wolf of Wall Street, Birds of Prey, and Palm Springs.
That's kind of a trifecta because I've had
This is a
two.
weird...
I've had two matches with him. You've had one.
This is weird, man.
Like a hive mind.
Next, we've got Frank Buckman, played by Jason Robards, who was 67 at the time, and I would be very surprised
Same.
if you guys picked the same person as me. But Chelsea,
Yeah. So this was a little bit difficult to cast. To get that, grouchy old man, but also like somebody so sweet at their core. So again, this guy's Twitter made me pick him. Also, I just love him.
Mhm.
I went with Mark Hamill.
nice.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, that's
Right?
actually very good. That's very good. I can totally see him in this role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice job. Sean, over to you.
I'm the same way. I was going for grouchiness. I went with a 66-year-old actor who was in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He was in Psych. He was in L.A. Law, and he was in Major League. I went with Corbin Burnson.
Okay, yeah. Corbin Burnson. That name, you hear it a lot, and I don't always necessarily associate a face with that name, but now I can. And since this is a visual podcast,
Yes, a visual podcast.
Now it's
On
a visual
YouTube.
podcast on YouTube. Okay, so my pick. I'm so glad you guys didn't pick this one because he's great. He's a character actor. Goes way back. He's 66 now, which is a little bit surprising to me. He was in Remember the Titans, Armageddon, Desperately Seeking Susan, and the recent Minari. His name is Will Patton. Will Patton.
Okay, yeah.
Will Patton. So, this movie's good.
Yeah.
I think it's the Family Stone before the Family
Oh
Stone.
yeah, absolutely.
Good interactions between family members who know each other too well. Isn't that what it's about?
Well, I wanted to say something. This is one of Ron Howard's better films, and I mentioned Babaloo Mandel. Babaloo Mandel was a writer on Happy Days with Ron Howard acting, so there is a connection with these guys. They kind of.
You should listen to the podcast Smartless when they have Ron Howard.
Oh, I
on
bet
there.
it's fantastic.
Oh, it's great.
Nice.
Talks a lot about that.
And of course, Smartless has Justin Bateman, Will
Jason
Arnett,
Bateman.
Jason Bateman. I think Justin.
Yeah, you're thinking Justine.
Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and
Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes.
Oh, wow.
It's great.
And
It's so fun.
each episode they bring on a surprise guest. One of the three books a guest, and the other two don't know who's coming on.
Oh, that's cool.
It's fun. It's a fun
You
show.
can't sleep to it, but the episodes are about like 45 minutes to an hour at the most.
I find your lack of faith in my sleeping skills disturbing.
You wouldn't want to sleep to this. It's fun and interesting.
All right, Chelsea, I want to thank you for doing what you do and for my awesome presence earlier.
You're so
Hey, how about the bonus segment?
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh,
Get there.
well, you're gonna.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Bonus segment. All right, so we're gonna go.
choking over here.
We're gonna go ahead and go into our bonus segment, which is gonna be a battle royale between the following. Who would win in their prime? Dianne Wiest versus Rachel Weisz versus Betty White.
Oh, Betty White. Sorry.
Fucking A.
Betty White. Betty White.
It was a ringer. I knew you guys were gonna say
Jeez,
Betty
come
White.
on, man. Betty White.
Sorry.
But isn't that a good?
I like that. Yeah,
That's
Rachel
great.
Weisz, and the progression is pretty
Mhm.
funny. I like that.
Very nice. All right, Chelsea. Thank you for being here and doing what you do. Thank you for my presence earlier.
You're welcome.
I really like it. For listeners, I got a handheld Oregon Trail game.
Woo!
Show it to the camera.
And also a Dwight Schrute card. And the cameo from Steven Tobolowsky.
Which will be posted on our YouTube.
Good, please.
Mm-mm.
All right, so also Sean, I want to thank you for doing what you do week in, week out.
Thanks, man.
Anything that either of you would like to plug?
Trivia.
Trivia was pretty good this last week. The weather was good enough to be outside.
You were on
and
your game, dude.
They were eating out of my hands. And oh, by the way, it's a pandemic. Don't eat out of other people's hands.
Oh, speaking of that, also, I get my second vaccine tomorrow.
Nice. By the time this goes kerplunk, Chelsea will be inoculated.
Woo!
She'll be running naked through the streets.
No, I won't.
Naked and inoculated. Sean, anything you want to plug?
You know, I don't think so. No.
My
Do you know-
second vaccine?
No, well, you just did.
That's more of a stick than a plug.
No, I just keep plugging. I keep plugging the YouTube because the YouTube we're gonna keep trying to get fresh content on it.
Cinema Chop Chop podcast on YouTube, not to be confused with Sean's new Twitter handle.
The
And-
handle's the same.
Do you know what next week's episode is, sir?
We're doing
For Easter.
for Easter. We're doing new Christian movies.
Neo-Christian / faith-based films. Yes, ma'am.
Will you please bring back the Easter Bunny song? Please.
For the Easter episode?
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you.
Also, we have it recorded.
I know, but just do it again.
And so I do have a sneak preview question and answer for this week's trivia. Are you ready?
Yes.
Sure.
This 2013 Christian drama film, directed by Steve Race, stars Jeff Ja Rule Atkins, Adrian Balin, Stephen Baldwin, Toby Mack, and Michael Madsen. Once again, this 2013 Christian drama film stars Jeff Ja Rule Atkins, Adrian Balin, Stephen Baldwin, Toby Mack, and Michael Madsen.
I feel like I'm in a Californian
I d-
sketch.
I
Every
know.
time you read a name, I was going,
So I think that the title sounds like it could be on like Lifetime or Hallmark or something.
I don't know.
Any guesses, Sean?
No.
I'll tell you what. It's not I'm in love with a stripper. It's I'm in love with a
Christian?
church girl. I'm in love with a church girl is the name of that 2013 Christian drama film starring all of those ridiculous people. We want to plug the podcast itself. Please rate, review, and subscribe to us on all of your podcatcher apps. Also, we're hosted online on Podbean. We're Cinema Chop Shop on there. Twitter, we are at Cinema Chop Shop. That's the legit, real Cinema Chop Shop Twitter. We are on Facebook. It's Cinema Chop Shop on there. We are cinemachopshop@gmail.com. If you ever feel the need to email the beers we checked in today, we'll check those in on Untappd, UNTAPPD. Look for Cinema Chop Shop on there. And then, like we just said, the YouTube channel is Cinema Chop Shop Podcast. Finally, farewell. Thank you to you, the listeners. Remember to wear a mask and social distance and get your vaccine. And watch, chop, retrofit.